Pope Leo X by Kurt May, and Pope Clement VII by Shane Green. Pope Leo X. He was born on December 11th, 1475 in Florence. He died on December 1st, 1521. His parent-given name is Giovanni de' Medici. He was the second son of Lorenzo the Magnificent. He was part of the richest family in Rome that controls Florence. He was the cousin of Giulio de' Medici. He was tonsured at the age of 8 and exiled from Florence in 1494. Influence and patrons. Leo X found great inspiration from art. He was a fan of classical Latin and set up plays frequently. He gave Michelangelo the job to paint the Sistine Chapel, which turned out to be beautiful. Afterwards, he had Michelangelo carve figures over his tomb and hired Raphael to paint a portrait of himself. Contributions to the Renaissance. Leo X made Rome become the center of high Renaissance by attracting some amazing painters and architects. He hired Michelangelo to paint the Sistine Chapel and accelerated the construction of the beautiful St. Peter's Basilica. He loved spending his money on paintings and expensive materialistic items. Effect on the Catholic Church. Pope Leo X started selling indulgences in 1517 to regain some money that he spent. Selling papal indulgences made Martin Luther upset, then he wrote his 95 Thesis. The church starts to split up with some people joining Martin's side, which created the time period known as the Reformation. After all the chaos, he excommunicates Martin from the church.
Pope Clement VII was born on May 26, 1478 in Florence. His original name was Giulio de' Medici, and he was born to the rich Medici family, and his cousin was Pope Leo X. His father, Giuliano de' Medici, died shortly after his birth. Pope Clement was kicked out of Florence with his cousin in 1494. Pope Clement VII died on September 25, 1534, and he was buried across from his cousin in Santa Maria sopra Minerva. Pope Clement VII ordered Michelangelo to paint the Last Judgment in the Sistine Chapel. Pope Clement VII was a patron of the historian Machiavelli, and he was also friends with famous Renaissance thinkers like Erasmus. Pope Clement VII expanded the Vatican Library, and he restored churches and buildings in Rome. Pope Clement VII was influenced by his cousin Pope Leo X. Pope Clement VII was a patron of the arts, and he was a patron of famous artists Raphael and Michelangelo. Pope Clement VII ordered Raphael to paint the Transfiguration for his cathedral in Narbonne, France, and he also ordered Michelangelo to build sculptures of the Medici family. Pope Clement VII liked the Renaissance culture and was a patron of. Pope Clement VII was raised at an early age with his cousin to become the Pope. Pope Clement VII was made the Archbishop of Florence in 1513, and shortly after, at the age of 38, he was made a cardinal deacon in 1517. Pope Clement VII became Pope in 1523. Pope Clement VII reigned during the Protestant Reformation. Pope Clement VII was a bad choice maker while he was the Pope, and during the political struggle of King Francis I of France and the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V for the control of Europe, he kept consistently switching sides of who he supported. This led to Charles V to ransack Rome in 1527. This ransacking caused many of the churches to be damaged. Pope Clement VII's bad decision-making allowed for the Protestant movement to grow, and he was a horrible political leader.